Meantime, the inauguration, of course, of a U.S. president is always a landmark event in American history, to say the least.
That's for sure. And joining us this morning on NewsNation to analyze the historical significance and also the distinctions of the Biden-Harris inauguration is Laura Belmonte, professor of history at Virginia Tech and also dean of the Virginia Tech College of Liberal Arts and Human Sciences. Professor, we so appreciate you joining us on this historic day. I think, first of all, as I said just a moment ago, it's a fun day to celebrate our nation's history and look back at some of the traditions. I'd like to begin with some of your favorite moments throughout history on this day.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me. You know, one of the things that's really interesting about the inauguration is that it's almost entirely based on tradition. There is very little that's enshrined in law. The 20th Amendment, which was enacted in 1933, says that the oath of office is 35 words long and says that it needs to happen by noon on January 20th. But most else about the inauguration is tradition. You know, when it first began with George Washington, it happened in New York, then the nation's capital. It then moved to Philadelphia with John Adams and wasn't held in Washington, D.C. until 1801 with Thomas Jefferson. And over time, it's evolved. In 1809, Dolly Madison and James Madison instituted the inaugural balls, which were $4 a ticket, which is about $85 now. In 1817, James Monroe became the first president to give the inaugural address outside. That tradition kind of backfired in 1841, though, when William Henry Harrison decided to give a nearly 2-hour inaugural address on a cold, rainy day without wearing a coat or a hat. He became very sick and died 30 days into office, so definitely not the intended consequence there. Technology has played an interesting role, too. We had the James Polk in 1845 was the first time the inauguration was broadcast over the telegraph. In 1897, William McKinley was the first president whose inauguration was filmed. In 1925, Calvin Coolidge became the first president whose address was carried over the radio. And in 1949, President Truman was the first whose inauguration was carried on television.
And let me ask you this. It's such a day, and obviously this year is strange for a couple of reasons, but it's not just our country's chance to celebrate the political turning of the page and a new chapter, a new administration coming in, but also one of the kind of interesting, fascinating, important things about today is always the message it sends to the rest of the world. Talk a little bit about the signal that our ceremony here in America is supposed to send to countries looking on. Literally, the world does watch what we do here politically. It means a lot. Talk a little bit about the message this kind of day is meant to send.
This is deeply entrenched in our history and national identity. I think it's important to keep in mind that when George Washington, you know, at the height of his power and popularity as the general who led us through the American Revolution, chose to voluntarily step down from the presidency, this was almost unheard of in the world at that time, an era of monarchy. And the idea that you would voluntarily cede power was just truly revolutionary. And that has remained a part of our national identity, that the idea that no matter how contentious an election might be, that we would allow our democratic republic to be peacefully transferred between administrations. And the world pays attention to that. This ceremony sends a message to our adversaries that don't get the idea that just because someone new is running our country, that somehow the values we believe in or the role of American power through the world is going to go away simply because a new person is our head of state. And it sends an important message domestically that when tensions might have flared in the political season, and God knows that was certainly the case in 2020 and on January 6th, that we can join together as Americans, that our Constitution endures, that we remain the world's oldest democratic republic.
Professor, so well put. Thank you so much. And we appreciate you joining us now and also throughout the morning and following the remarks by the president. In just a little while, we'll be talking to you. And we also can't lose sight of the fact that inaugurations often do happen in tumultuous times of our country, thinking back to Abraham Lincoln in 1861 on the eve of the Civil War, and in 1865 near the end of the Civil War, he delivered that important and very well-known inaugural speech.